Hey everybody, Julie the Whippy Chick here again, and it's finally March. We're getting closer to spring every day. And so with the good help of my best buddy and son Pete, I got my St. Patrick's Day lights up to celebrate that we're finally getting closer to spring. So last week I spent most of the week working on a recreation of a project that my grandmother had done back in the 70s. And it was like a little rug or a bath mat that she had made, and my sister had held on to it forever and ever because she didn't want to give it up, but it was in terrible shape. So I decided to try to recreate it and make it exactly the same. So I will show you that finished whip. It's finally done. And it has a lot of fringe on it. I'm not sure if maybe it's too much fringe, but that's how it looks. And it's basically a hexagon shape, and it uses a puff stitch. So I'll bring it up a little closer so you can kind of see the stitch in it. And actually it was kind of a fun make. It was a fun little project, and it didn't take terribly long. And so I'm going to do a tutorial on that, I think maybe next week or the week after. So if you're interested in making one, you'll have to look out for that tutorial, and we'll do it together. I'm also thinking that maybe we could make them in a rectangular shape or even a square shape, kind of like you would with a granny square, because it's kind of similar how you do the corners like a granny square. So that was project number 1. So after working on the little floor mat for my sister, it got me thinking a lot about my grandmother and how inspirational she was to me with knitting and crocheting and all kinds of needlework that she did. She also did a lot of needlepoint, which is not something that I do. I used to do it a little bit when I was younger, but it's really hard on my eyes and a little hard on my patience too. It's always such slow going, so I don't do a lot of needlepoint. But I thought I'd show you some of the needlepoint of hers that we found. And this is one that I've discovered recently, and I just love it. I might even frame it or make it into a pillow. I just love the detail in the little bird. But all those little tiny stitches, I guess it's not too different from making socks, really. Lots of little tiny stitches, and some people say they don't have the patience for that. But I just, I really appreciate all of the work that she put into these. This is another one that she didn't finish. It's a little boy on a swing. It's just kind of sweet and cute. So those are some of her needlepoint that she did. I also found this little handkerchief that she made, and she did very, very tiny crochet work. And it's just so fine, all those teeny tiny stitches. And I also found all of her old little teeny tiny crochet hooks that she used to make those little tiny lacy crochet projects. Here's another one. It was just like a little doily that she would leave on the side table, and you'd put your glass on it, so kind of like a coaster. So it's just kind of neat to go through and find all these little projects. Apparently she was really excited about making something with granny squares too, because I found these, and definitely were made in the 70s, judging by the colorway. So it's really neat to find all of these little tools, little bags of crochet hooks, and lots and lots. Oh my goodness! Lots and lots of needles. That might have to go on the blooper reel. That was crazy. The needles jumped out at me. But lots and lots of needles and all kinds of just interesting things that I found of my grandma's. So if you're up there, Grandma, looking down on me, I'm enjoying looking at all of your old things. Oh, I have one last thing that I wanted to share of my grandmother's, and that was her book, The Complete Guide to Needlework. It was a Reader's Digest book, and I used to love looking at this book when I was a little girl, and also a little bit proud of the fact that my grandma could do all of this stuff in this book, or so I thought. But it's a really neat book, and teaches you just about everything you'd want to know about any kind of needlework, whether it's crochet or knitting or quilting, needlepoint, macrame, all kinds of things. So I'll put some more videos of the inside of the book in the video later. So that's kind of like my tribute to Grandma. I do miss her. So a couple other things that we did this week. Friday night, my sister came and spent the night, and we had a girls' night of doing something very silly, and that was we bought latch hook kits. So that was very, very silly. We got in touch with our 6th grade selves doing some latch hook. I was excited for my sister because she doesn't do anything with yarn, and I'm always trying to get her to learn. She's tried loom knitting and crocheting, and she just does not care for it. But I think I might have gotten her on the latch hook. She says she's working on it at home, so fingers crossed. Maybe I can have yarn conversations with her someday. The last thing I have is a project that I'm getting ready to start, and I'll just show you the colorway. I've got green and pale pink. I'm going to be using up some scraps here. I think I'm going to be doing some granny squares using these colors. I've got a bright pink and I've got white. Can you guess what I'm going to use them for? I'm going to use them for a baby blanket. And the reason I picked those colors is because I'm going to back the blanket with this adorable flannel material. And I'll bring it a little closer so you can see. It's just so cute. Too cute not to share. These cute little sweet peas. So that's something that hopefully I'll be able to share with you next week on our weekly chat. So I don't think I have too much else going on this week. I did start a knitting project in the car today, and I'll show you that later when it's done, when I can go outside and show it to you, because it's got such a dark colorway that I don't think you'd be able to see it in this light anyway. So I think that's it. Happy spring, everybody. I hope to see you again soon. And again, look out for that tutorial to make the small rug. It's really a fun pattern to follow. I think that was it. I would love to hear from you though. If you could leave me a comment below, maybe tell me who inspired you when you started doing whatever kind of yarn projects you do, whether it's knitting or crocheting or weaving or whatever it is that you do. I'd love to hear the story about the person who inspired you to get started. And with that, I'm going to let you go. And please like and comment and subscribe, and even hit that little notification bell. That'll let you know when I've got a new video out. So with that, have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.